Hello and welcome to another episode of Good Brews, Bad Views. I'm your host, Max Nestorowicz, as always, joined by Ryan Everett.
Hello.
And James Thorpe.
Hi.
And today we have a very special guest, one Steve Cuff.
Pleasure to be here. Well, I mean, sort of.
Yeah, well,
You did pick the movie.
Pleasure's all yours, Steve.
without realizing it, you picked the movie.
You know, I was going to say, I felt a little bit strong-armed into this one.
Well, so today we are watching Suicide Squad. And
my God.
Steve, you write for a website called Optimism Vaccine.
Yeah.
And you bent this movie over and destroyed it.
It was thoroughly eviscerated.
Yes.
Eviscerated. More beer for Ryan.
Yeah, it was, you know, I've seen a couple of things that may be a little bit worse than this in 2016, but the one thing I will say about Suicide Squad is, like, the moment I got out of the theater, I sat down and I just wrote an article about how much I hated it. And, like, I've never had a stronger emotional reaction just coming out of a movie, just appalled by what I saw.
Yeah, I believe we shared it when you first posted it, and we will share it again when this episode goes up.
Got to get those sweet clicks, baby.
Yep,
Right,
get
right.
those sweet clicks. But the question we always ask our guests is, what is the first movie you can remember seeing in theaters, and what is your first bad movie?
Well, the first movie I remember seeing in theaters was actually the DuckTales movie, the DuckTales cartoon, which I don't remember anything about it, so I just know that I saw it. That's about it. But the first bad movie that I remember seeing, and I remember this vividly because at the time, you know, you're a kid and you're like, oh, well, everything's great because I'm an idiot because
It's a
I'm
movie.
5. Yeah, it's a movie.
right.
I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, which
my
is
God.
the one where they go through
I-
time.
I believe that's Ryan's answer.
Yeah, that
for
was
first
my
bad movie.
my honorable mention. It was either that or the Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter.
Yeah, so it was weird because it was just like my whole world came crashing down because I love the first 2 Turtle movies so much. And I was like, wait a second, these costumes look like garbage. Like, this is, what are they doing? What's going on? I was mortified.
Yeah, it's crushing. It's so
But,
bad.
you know, I don't know. And I think I'm a little bit of a masochist, though, because I own it on VHS and DVD. Like, I
You bought
hate
the
watching it
DVD.
every once in a while.
Blu-ray or go home, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm sure
He
the
doesn't want to
Ultra
have to buy
HD
the box sets.
4K solution will be out soon, I'm sure.
4K.
There's a huge push in Hollywood to get that released. I'm sure.
Was it on Blu-ray of the first movie that you can actually see the guys' faces on the insides of the mouths on the turtles? Oh
God.
That sounds great.
I believe that.
Yeah,
Yeah, high def doesn't do some
but I
movies
believe
favors.
that.
yeah. I think so.
Lord.
All right, so Steve, you've been a longtime friend of the show. You've known Ryan and James for several years.
Yeah, like
so
forever.
Yeah, we all
happy to have you on here.
Yeah, this is great. James and I actually went to middle school and high school with Steve Cuff. So, and James, I think maybe even longer.
I've known James Thorpe since he had hair down to his ass.
I remember that. I remember that time.
Wait, that could be his college. I saw him when he was an archaeologist, being all Indiana Jonesy in the Southwest.
No, this was Steve and I actually don't remember how we met. We just kind of met one day.
Yeah, sometime in like middle school or something. I think I met him when I was in like 7th grade, 8th grade, something like that. But yeah.
So, yeah.
known him
and
forever.
no one's been able to recover from it since.
Yeah.
And we've been watching bad movies ever since.
Right.
Yep.
But if you are watching along with us today,
I'm sorry.
we have the movie queued up just
Yeah.
where the WB logo has the neon lights have disappeared. So we're about to change logos to the weird R thing, which
We don't
I thought
give a
was
fuck
Rocksteady,
about,
but
yeah.
it's not Rocksteady
Yeah.
apparently.
It's not worth noting in this movie. No way.
No.
No.
So
Sorry,
if you're
Rocksteady.
watching along, hit play now. Now.
Excellent start. That second now is where to go, folks.
Start on that second now.
I'll fix it in post.
Right.
Like they could have fixed so much of this movie in post.
Yeah, they could have just.
I don't know,
dumped the
I
whole
think
thing.
there's a fair argument that the opening credits are the best part, you know. Well, now it's bad, but
Yeah,
They are the most
yeah, right. And it's gone. It peaked already.
They are the most colorful part of this movie.
I haven't seen that much neon since the 1980s or in a vaporwave music video.
Yeah, no kidding. I think we ran our well of laser tag arena jokes dry with the previous episode too.
this is also the first instance of song that they probably paid too much for. That's just like in every movie you can possibly think of. So you got House
Yeah.
of the Rising Sun playing. And
Yeah.
God, there's way too much of that in this.
Is that a Wahlberg? I don't think so, but I'm gonna assume.
It looks like if a Wahlberg ate a Wahlberg.
Did you just accidentally channel Trainwreck through here in John Cena's line?
What? I haven't even seen that.
Oh, it's pretty good. Oh boy, that's a
We are
pretty
in for a
fellow.
fun 2 hours,
Yeah, right.
dear
Yeah.
listeners and people in this room.
The recurring guard character is one who I don't know if he's supposed to be like the entry point for other people or not, but he's like everybody else in this movie. He's a bad character.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I feel like if this guard guy got into filmmaking and made a movie, this is the movie that would result.
Yep.
This is just 2 hours of just steaming trash.
I like the transitions with the baton hits.
So, obviously, this is how you spend your time in jail, is practicing stripper moves, right? I mean, that's what you do.
Apparently so.
I mean, that's like some Cirque du Soleil. That's classy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Man, people were so excited for this movie because of Harley Quinn, which personally I've never been a fan of for obvious reasons.
Right.
But
I've always liked the character a lot. Wasn't she incepted on the animated series?
that is correct.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Paul Dini created
Right.
Harley Quinn.
Michigan native.
Yes.
Yeah.
This whole sequence just screams of the music not actually being here, and then they watched Guardians of the Galaxy and they were like, let's put music on this movie.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this movie reeks of. It's like, oh, we need to do Guardians. That did well. We don't need to have all the big people. We can use relatively unknowns with weird, quirks to them, and that'll be just as successful.
Yeah.
Well, it's just from the... Okay, so we've been over this a bit, the nerds that we are. By sheer imitation alone from the just amount of great and good movies Marvel has produced, just by parroting alone, DC should have made something that was a competent film. And it's so far from it.
I think if anything, like
to the cuff.
Marvel, I've gotten burned out on superhero movies over the past couple of years, but
No,
I
it's not a
really
thing, Steve.
appreciate
You're wrong. It
Marvel
doesn't
on a new
happen.
level, because when you see what everybody else is doing, it's like, oh my god, you guys have figured out the formula.
Right.
Oh god! So this is our first flashback sequence, which is covered in a hideous pink and blue filter. Good
Yep.
god! And that's kind of that's the theme for this movie. It's just assault on the senses.
Assault on the senses.
It's an act of aesthetic violence.
Yep. That's why she ran against the bars there. She was trying to get out of this movie.
Yeah. Get me out of this fade.
Guys, you get it? It's because she's a bad person pretending to be a good person.
Oh,
she's
my
the devil.
God.
So sympathy for the devil's playing.
I was super disappointed to notice that the actor, I forget his name, who plays Hopper in Stranger Things, is in this fucking movie.
Oh.
That is not great.
Hey, everybody needs a paycheck, man.
Yeah.
True story.
Unfortunately, were this movie made 10 years earlier, CCH Pounder would have been cast for this role
CCH
as
Pounder.
Waller.
Davis as her though wasn't a bad
No,
call. I do like that casting.
I don't even know what she's doing in this. She's slumming it. That's
Yeah.
what is she
Viola
doing in
Davis
this
is
movie?
much better than this.
I do also have to, as someone who works for the federal government, have to appreciate that they got the federal government license plates correct on those black SUVs.
Well, I mean,
It's all in the details, man.
if you're making a list of good things about Suicide Squad, that might be one of 2 or 3 things.
And you're one of the few people who would notice that.
Right. True
They're
story.
like,
Good
"Oh,
license
we need
plates.
to get this
Good
so
license
James
plates.
Thorpe does not grill us on it for his podcast.
Yeah.
The binder, the exposition binder.
It's her binder full of women.
This
This whole scene to me, I don't understand why this wasn't like how they did with The Dark Knight. Remember how they showed the bank robbery scene for The Dark Knight before
The movie came out?
Before, was it I Am Legend? Was that right?
It was
Maybe.
Like
It
it was a 6-minute
yeah.
trailer.
It was a 6-minute
It was an
trailer.
IMAX trailer,
It was
yeah.
an IMAX trailer. I don't understand why this wasn't the Suicide Squad trailer.
Right.
This whole sequence where they go through all of this stuff here doesn't fit as a portion of a movie.
Right.
No.
It's a huge exposition dump, but as a thing taken completely separately, it'd be a lot of fun and would get people hyped for a movie.
Yeah, I think this movie didn't know how to market itself.
No.
If you look at the first trailer to the third trailer, the amount of neon increases dramatically. The tone of the trailer increases or changes dramatically.
It's kind of a monumental task, though. I'd take anyone to task if they could properly market a sun-baked used condom to a bunch of people.
Well, if I remember correctly, when they released the first trailer for this, it had a very big Guardian vibe to it.
No.
No. The second movie,
Yeah,
the second
okay,
trailer had a big Guardian vibe to it because the first trailer came out and it was kind of a mediocre thing.
Yeah, it had
It was a
that
lukewarm
weird
reception.
slow kind of
Yeah, that's
quiet
right.
background.
And then they
thing to it. I
re-guardianed up the
started a
trailer.
joke.
But after that, they realized that they had kind of run into a problem where the movie didn't look like the trailer that everyone got excited for. So I think this movie was kind of just they did a lot of reshoots after that second trailer came out.
Yes, that's or so the legend goes.
Right.
So I understand that if you're going to cast Will Smith for a masked role, you're going to have him without the mask as much as you possibly can.
Sure.
But I do like that they went with like the white Deadshot mask as opposed to.
One thing that I really like about Will Smith in this movie is there's two kinds of Will Smith. There's I'm serious Will Smith, and then there's like action hero.
Yeah.
So you think you're getting action hero, but basically he's just channeling his character from like Pursuit of Happiness. So I just expect his superhero power to be like, I can solve a Rubik's Cube really fast. Or something.
Right.
With bullets.
Yeah, with bullets. That's actually the best way to solve
Yeah,
one.
you
In my
So you just take
experience.
Independence Day and Pursuit of Happiness, put them in a blender, and this is the result.
That's basically what you get. Actually, I'd
Right.
say Independence Day 2 because
Okay, yeah, you need more CGI.
Yeah.
more CGI.
Can we just appreciate that hat though?
I am.
It's a good hat.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of almost part of a Freddy Krueger outfit. But yeah,
The list of good things in Suicide Squad is just growing exponentially. We
Yeah.
got good hats. We got good license plates.
yeah.
Oh,
It's a play doll.
So guys, he's a contract killer, but he has a kid, so
Heart of Gold, yeah.
he's
Yeah.
a good guy.
Mhm.
Like, don't forget that.
Grew 2 sizes that day.
Yep. They really try to play up him as like the best of the group, kind of.
Yeah, like he's the ultimate nice guy. It's like, nah, he shoots people in the head for money. That-
Yeah. But I will anyway.
Martha.
Yeah. Tell me about all the Marthas you know. Mm-hmm. So I
Hiding
never,
behind
you're
a
adopted.
Deadshot.
Pulls the trigger.
I'm gonna take her down too.
She just cuffs her. Ties her to the hood of the Batmobile like a deer.
You know, Batman's a real dick if he's arresting this guy.
In front of his kid.
Yeah, in front of his kid, clearly before Christmas.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Batman don't give a fuck.
Adam West would never have done that.
No.
Well, the animated series Batman did beat the hell out of a guard in front of his 5-year-old kid.
That's
So, I mean, if we're gonna go through it, Batman does have a history of doing horrible things in front of children.
He's
Apparently,
just a bad person.
yeah.
Bad person doing good things. He should be on the Suicide Squad.
There's one of those clever lines, right?
No.
I put it in the hole and threw away the hole.
So
This
why
is
is
just-
Harley Quinn an efficient criminal? Like, why is she, other than the fact that she's
She
tied to the
she
Joker?
has plot armor.
plot armor?
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah, I mean, that's things like, well, you need to have Joker in the movie because I'm sure that was like a mandate.
Yeah.
And
Because they're terrified to do anything without Batman or the Joker.
fanboys
Yep.
and fangirls, they love their Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So obviously you have to put her in the movie, but just like functionally as a criminal, she's basically useless.
Right. As part of this squad of enhanced powered people.
Well, and even in the grand scheme of things, I think there's an argument to be made that most of the people in Suicide Squad are actually useless.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. From a comic series, when she's with the Joker, she's traditionally kind of the one that holds things together a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I'm put a pin in that for a second. I do like the just crazy masks aesthetic of Joker's crew.
yeah, I do like
It's
that.
the first time that we've seen like his gang kind of like have a theme other than leather jackets.
Right.
Yeah, I do like the goons and the ridiculous masks.
Yeah.
I think that's a fun callback. This is one of the reasons why I know a lot of people don't like the Harley and Joker dynamic because it's just a really abusive relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a strong-willed Harley who basically will tell Joker to, go off and get out of here and all that,
Yeah.
everything else, you lose a lot of what Harley Quinn can be, which, of course, they don't have in this movie.
They don't have much of what anyone can be.
Also,
Sort of-
it's worth noting that the director, David Ayer, he said time and time again that Harley Quinn is his favorite character and that his favorite part of the movie is the love and the romance between the Joker and Harley Quinn, which reinforces the notion that David Ayer hates women and is a shithead.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Like in what universe does it make sense that Joker hangs out in a sort of strip club, I guess, and just watches his girlfriend dance around the whole time. I'm like, this is so just outside of
the idea
any
here is
sense
like,
here.
Originally, Joker, or at least, again, this is just from me watching David Ayer interviews because I hate myself. He said his inspiration was he went back to early comics and he said that Joker to him just seemed like a gangster that was crazy and dressed like a clown. So he wanted to make the 90s, equivalent to that. So his idea was basically make him a white rapper, I think. Like, that's what he's going for.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like, early on, like, everyone in Batman was just like a gangster because it was like the 30s and the 40s and they didn't really have shticks yet.
Right.
Other than like, he has umbrellas and he looks like a clown.
Don't forget Clock King.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
you leave the Clock King alone.
Early on, Batman also had a machine gun and fought vampires.
Right.
Batman still fights vampires and it's awesome. I like my Batman sci-fi and supernaturally.
This whole scene is so uncomfortable.
It is, yeah. In multiple ways. And what a waste of the tattoo man.
This movie's a great masterclass on how terrible the male gaze can be in action films too.
Oh, yes.
So watch, like, anytime that you catch like a shot of the titular Suicide Squad or Harley
Right.
Quinn walking
You got the
from
cheeks
behind.
going right in there, man.
Yeah, that's it. The camera just like droops down straight to Harley's ass every time.
I feel like Joker's character design in this movie, visually, it's like the end of level boss in like Bad Dudes for NES. That's what I think of.
Well, this is like, obviously it's post-Ledger, so what do you do to set yourself apart from Heath Ledger, who won a posthumous Best Supporting Actor? And it's like, well, let's make it more ridiculous
I
and
guess.
not... Like, he was all like low budget, like really ratty makeup and clothes or whatever. But like, oh no, we're going to have him driving a Lamborghini through Toronto and be like this successful crime boss who wears a lot of jewelry.
Right.
Yeah, his character is basically Gucci Mane from like Spring Breakers. Like, that's, but not good.
Yeah.
I do like this pull of Batman here that, as some people have said about Batman, that he just doesn't quit.
Right.
Like, he comes down here, she just shot at him, and what does he do? He brings her up and gives her CPR.
Right.
Because he's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this movie is not afraid to hit women.
This movie.
This
takes
entire
great pleasure
movie,
in hitting women.
yeah, this entire movie is just a punch to women.
Punch.
Yep.
Underwater nosebleed. The sharks. So,
The day that DC does a movie without an appearance or reference to Batman at all, in this day and age, is the day that I
will
don't
never
know,
come.
I shave off all my body hair.
Right.
I'm gonna regret saying that.
Right. Hopper, no.
Oh Lord.
Side note: the dude playing Captain Boomerang is fucking huge.
Dry Courtney.
Yeah, he's huge in this movie.
I don't know why, but the vacuuming up of the diamonds made me laugh.
It does, yeah. It's what you assume how people steal diamonds.
All right.
Yeah.
That's another guy who's functionally useless too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I wanted more from him because he's the obvious like I don't like what I'm doing here.
Right.
I'm just doing it because I have to.
The problem I have with this whole scene is that the CW did this way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Although I was surprised that they actually did show the Flash here before they have him in any other movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Ezra
will say
Miller.
I don't hate the aesthetic of the Flash in this. I do kind of like the lightning around him all the time. I think
His
it's kind of a neat
costume's way
effect.
too busy.
It's a really dark costume. It has the effect of a lot of superhero costumes right now in movies, which is that it's just tactical armor that's colored. I don't particularly like the costume. I like the aesthetic of him overall.
The how they do the super speed.
The super speed and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's kind of it's an interesting way that it's just always on.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're still in just the opening summary
Yeah.
of characters.
We're just,
This
we're in just
is just
hell.
slogging along
I
here.
appreciate how Killer Croc is practical effects as opposed to CGI.
You know
Yeah.
what? I was talking to the guys, you guys in the car about this. Why the fuck is Killer Croc in Arkham right now? Like, what has he ever done? Like, when we listen to them describing what he's been doing, they just say, well, he's a monster, because look at him.
Right.
He,
And he's in the sewer.
He's a cannibal.
But is that really like explicitly stated? See, you
No,
know
well,
that
I know
because
that.
you
Yeah,
read the
'cause
comics.
yeah.
I
They
know
do say
that
it on
because I'm familiar with like the Batman cartoon in the comics.
Yeah.
But the way they set him up in this movie is ugly
a
crocodile
crocodile
man lives
man.
in sewers.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do say it on the screen that he has cannibalistic tendencies, but that's not
The same.
the same. I mean, it is a crime, so it's not
Yeah.
the same.
Listen, we all love a little red meat, okay?
But I don't like the way that they cast this movie. They went with who's currently in the Suicide Squad / who is big in DC.
Yeah.
So I think the current iteration of Suicide Squad, it's Deadshot, Harley, Killer Croc.
What's based on the new
Whatever.
52?
I believe
Stuff?
this lineup. Yeah.
Okay.
So
As someone who's actually been on archaeological digs and
Okay.
is trained in archaeology,
Did you just pick things up and break them all the time?
this is exactly how archaeology works. You just walk into caves and steal things.
Yeah, and break them immediately.
Yep, that's exactly how this works.
I found a thing,
I'm-
Crunch.
Steve, I'm noticing the drunk walk you were talking
Yeah.
about earlier. About how about
So, yeah,
how Enchantress moves.
Yeah, when you're at a bar and someone like a girl comes up to you and she's really drunk and she's kind of dancing to the music, it's just like, buy me a drink.
Yeah.
That's Enchantress.
Buy me a drink or I'll bewitch you. Bewitch your balls.
Oh God.
Spooky cave. Yeah, she's a terrible archaeologist.
Mm-hmm.
God. The editing in this movie too is so
It's
all over the place.
It's jarring a lot of times and bad.
Yep.
Gangbangers, crocodilies. Don't forget about the Demogorgon.
The Demogorgon had better effects than most of the bad guys in this movie.
True statement. This is a slow ass restaurant.
Yeah. This is DC. Imagine how much it costs to. Imagine how much the government's paying to keep that place empty.
Right.
Yeah.
And the whole golf thing at the bottom here is just, I don't know. That joke is very out
The
of place
golf?
to me.
That he golfs.
Yeah,
golf's a
well,
three
golf's
handicap?
3 handicap. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It
It
speaks
seems
to a
shoehorned in there.
well, it speaks to a movie that this isn't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I like the shot of June Moon sitting in the bathtub, which I assume is filled with blood. Based off, but that could just be terrible lighting.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'd put my money on terrible lighting actually.
Let's go with diarrhea. Let's go
Yeah.
there.
Speaking of water and blood, what are you drinking today, guys? Steve, why don't you tell us what you brought us from your?
Yes.
You're from Wisconsin.
From
or-
a far
Yeah,
land.
I brought you guys a bunch of really good Wisconsin beers, and right now we're drinking Raised Grain Brewing Company's Paradocs Red.
It's an Imperial Red IPA.
Imperial Red IPA.
Quite tasty. Closest thing we've had to it would be the Nosferatu from Great Lakes Brewing Company. We had that for Van Helsing, which was very tasty. This is a little bit more hoppy than that last one, and that was like an IBU of like 79, I believe. So, how do you guys like this?
Surprisingly, and I don't know if this is just from you guys hammering me over the head with IPAs on this show and otherwise, but
Ryan,
I'm liking this a little bit. It's not bad. I could drink more of this, and I'm going to.
Ryan-
It's interesting you said that too because so this brewery, they're one of the only breweries I've ever been to where, regardless of the style of beer, I like what they do. Like, think of the
That's gotta
number of
be rare.
times you've had like a Kolsch or a Golden Lager, and you're like, "Oh wow, this is great! I would order this again." It's like, who cares about that stuff?
yeah.
But like literally everything they do is just really really solid. And the other thing that's cool is I don't think they make a beer that's below 7% alcohol. They're all just
Yeah.
like heavy hitters.
Some gumption to it, bro.
Put hair in your chest. But yeah, really great brewery, and they just started bottling a couple weeks ago this stuff, and I think they're already sold out of bottles at the brewery. And they started bottling their black walnut stout recently, like last week, and
That
that's
sounds
amazing
like-
as well.
Yeah.
So I'll bring
My
you guys some
song.
of
This
that
is
next time I'm in town.
Milwaukee Brewery.
Yeah. They're based out of Waukesha, which is just outside of Milwaukee.
Oh, this is cool
They're
here.
brand new. They've only been around for like 2 years, I think.
Okay.
What we talked about before, I'm just sidestepping real here.
It's
real
one of the
quick.
cool effects in this
Oh yeah,
movie,
Yeah.
actually.
the only
Just the
cool effect.
transition,
I,
yeah.
One of the only good things in the movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Generally, I just like Enchantress's witchy aesthetic.
Yeah, like her design is good, but her gyrations and her motion is really bad.
Yeah.
Back to beer.
That's beer. Okay, James Thorpe, what do you think about this beer?
I like it a whole lot. This is really, really good. It manages to be hoppy without being overly flowery at the end. It finishes without holding that taste. So I appreciate that.
Okay. And Ryan, you were saying how we've been beating you over the head with IPAs, but for the first 10 episodes when we were all drinking different beers, you were always buying yourself IPAs. So
I was taking it for the team, man.
for the jokes.
Right. It's all for the jokes. The brew bonus. That's what I was trying to go for.
The brew bonus.
So, Steve, occasionally we try to link somehow, some way, thematically, the beer to the movie we're watching.
Oh.
Again, the Nosferatu for Van Helsing. What are some of the other ones?
The Torpedo Extra IPA for Deep Rising.
Yep. right. So stuff like that.
That's thoughtful.
If we can swing it, we do it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't always work out that way.
Joke's on you guys. This is actually linked to Suicide Squad because this isn't actually Paradox Red. I emptied the bottles, urinated into them, and then supplied you
right.
with
We're
it.
not watching Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, we're not drinking Grandma's apple or
Peach tea.
Peach tea.
Come on, military Kid Rock, move along. I just weep every time I see Hopper in here. You're better than this, man.
That right there,
He
too.
is now.
He is now.
Well, I guess this came out about the same time, but...
Like, they go with the whole, it's Argus, they go with everything, and then they call it Task Force X.
Yeah.
That's technically what it's called.
Yeah, I know, but like if you're gonna go
It's
for
a
the
stupid name,
fun-loving
yes.
thing of everything, just go for it.
The government doesn't have fun names for things.
Yeah, we do.
No, you don't.
We name everything stupid names.
Stupid and fun aren't the same.
Yeah.
This is a thing we should argue about right now.
Yes.
Hey guys, Viola Davis is ready to save the world.
Yeah.
Right. She might be
Or
the
not.
devil.
That's the other thing about this too, is like the Suicide Squad is not put together specifically to combat an imminent threat. They're put together because they expect there to be something that is too horrible for superheroes, which we know exist in this universe, to deal with.
Yeah. Or Spec Ops.
This whole thing seems like a really bad idea.
Yeah. So Killer Croc's superpower is to do weird positioned push-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good push-ups. Also, how come he still gets a sewer?
Right.
You know? You'd think they'd give him just like a little bathtub or something in his jail cell.
Yeah, because clearly it's still dangerous. When we see him being fed earlier, I mean, he drags down one of the officers into the water with him.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. Scared people are going to associate me with this movie for the rest of my life. Yeah. Terrified.
The big thing I saw when I was watching this movie, I do like the practical effects, Max, and it reminded me a little bit actually of what Killer Croc looks like from Batman Earth 2 Volume 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like reference only like one other person who may listen to this podcast will get.
Yeah.
Also, this movie has a fetish with tablets. There's
Yeah, it does.
It really likes tablets.
Look
Yeah.
at these tablet video.
Max, I have a question for you because I think you're our de facto comic book expert.
I am.
Why is Killer Croc... I can't stop thinking about
Okay,
Killer Croc.
okay.
I'm sorry. Why does he have like a Creole Jar Jar Binks accent?
He's supposed to be from the South.
okay.
He's supposed to be from like Louisiana or whatever.
All right.
He was in the circus, ends up in Gotham or whatever.
So, could we chalk this up to another thing that you know because you're familiar with the DC universe, but the rest of the world is going, why is he talking like that?
yeah, well, as this movie will later establish, he's like stereotypically black
All right.
with his request for BET,
B-E-T.
and Hennessy.
Bruh, bruh, bruh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, then we have the what's his face, Pyro,
El Diablo.
El Diablo. Sorry, Pyro. What am I thinking?
Another terrible flame-based villain.
I know. I'm getting them all mixed up.
Yep.
That's a missed opportunity to just say "eat at Joe's." Right there with his hands.
But yeah, it's just they're just trotting out these racial stereotypes. You think if you had your pick of any villains you wanted to be in this movie, you would go with something a little more,
Yeah.
dynamic.
Well, I mean, Gentleman Ghost and Crazy Quilt didn't test well, so they had to go with.
He sounds like bad. Flag in this movie sounds like a bad Buffalo Bill. Very big old fat
I'm
girl.
telling you, man.
Part of me wonders what happened that Tom Hardy pulled out of this. Oh, it's a good thing that he did.
Yeah.
He cares about his career.
Yes. Yeah.
Will Smith is immune to any of this. Like he exclusively does terrible things.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I almost always like watching Will Smith in just about anything.
He's frequently the best thing in terrible crap that I don't want to see.
right.
What do we do in Collateral Beauty? I want to come back and do Collateral Beauty, guys.
You shut up. I read the other Obvac list of the top 5 worst movies of 2016 and saw that was prominently on there.
I actually went to go and see it, and it was sold out.
What? What circle of hell were you watching movies in?
That's the world we're living in, baby.
Milwaukee.
Well, that's the star power Will Smith brings, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was also $5 Tuesday, so
Well.
don't empty nothing.
Don't empty it. That was supposed to be funny, guys. It's a
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah,
Laugh at it.
cookies.
It's a funny joke.
So what happens next with Deadshot here is like completely replicated later in the movie, just with different special effects and
Pretty much.
And
With wrist guns.
yeah,
Yeah.
wrist cannon.
I
Do you
did.
think-
I did like they had the wrist guns. I will say that.
It's another terrible pop music choice. Like, oh, well, Will Smith is black and has short hair. Black Skinhead by Kanye. That's the clear choice.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Not to mention like how much money they must have blown to have this for 30 seconds.
Oh, God. Yeah, the soundtrack for this has got to be just astronomical in its cost.
This is one of those fun effects that would have been fun if the scene wasn't 2.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Like instead of having that little showdown, they just
had-
went straight to like guns.
Straight to guns, yeah.
What are you buying?
Yeah.
What are you selling? Got a lot of good guns here, stranger.
Deep nerd cuts, folks.
Yep.
I mean, really, just it's got Kid Rock hair all up in that cap.
I do like this joke right coming up here about the college.
Yeah, this is a funny one. Yeah. Big joints.
Yeah.
Need you to white people
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
The guy in the back scratching his head, wondering why he's in this damn movie. No, talking
I'll have to
you.
say, for what Will Smith has to work with in this movie, I think he does a general decent job.
I do like, too, that Will Smith, given the new situation where Amanda Waller shows up with other people, Will Smith is the only one that pegs her that she's the one in charge. Everybody else talks to
talks to
Talk-
Flag.
Flag.
talks to Flag or talks to the other guys in the room.
Well, I mean, she kind of sticks out. I mean, how many high-ranking African-American women do you think are walking around the prison like that?
I just thought it was a fun little catch. that
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's the one who figured out he's the hitman, so he's gonna be the one who knows who's in charge. He knows who's important, and he picked it out right
Yeah.
away.
It's a good place for a badge on your sleeve there. Good job, Flag. Is that common? I don't know.
Yeah,
like
it's really
that witch poon.
it's like a testament to just how structurally awful this movie is and how terribly written the characters are. Because if you look at the cast, like just on paper, the amount of talent and likable people, just like naturally likable people that are in this movie, or people who are capable actors, and then like I just want to strangle Jared Leto with piano wire.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
They just really wanted this scene of him laying in a bunch of knives in this movie. That's what
yeah.
this whole boondoggle is just to get him to lay down in some knives.
Another
Yeah.
David Ayer fun fact.
Look how crazy he is. He
This
even has
is-
a little smiley face.
Ugh.
This is David Ayer's favorite scene, and he's talked about in several interviews about how he came to the set at like 6 a.m. so he could meticulously lay out all the knives and all the beer bottles and then spray paint "ha ha" on the wall all by himself.
He disassembled that piano himself.
Wow.
Yep. And he said, yeah, he had to do it because he couldn't explain to a set designer what his vision was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That just
boy.
means he's incompetent at communicating to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and how hard is it to say throw a bunch of junk around this room?
Yeah. Just take all the drawers in the kitchen and throw it on the floor.
You're always saying, "Don't tase me, bro." We just didn't take you seriously.
I did laugh a little bit there at that part. Yeah, he's killing it. He's got it.
Now, Ryan, did you see this in theaters?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Now, did you enjoy it in theaters, or you were disappointed?
No, I walked away furious. It was bad. It was bad. Bad.
Did you guys all see this in the theater?
I saw it in theater with my sister.
James saw this for the first time, like,
Does
what,
she
yesterday?
still talk to you?
Yes. Well, she was a big fan of Margot Robbie, but we both came out going like,
Two
reconsider.
astronomically better movies with Margot Robbie are Whiskey Tango Foxtrot with Tina Fey and also The Big Short with Steve Carell. And who else is in that? Ryan Gosling? Yeah, I think Ryan Gosling.
I feel like David Ayer was trying to have this be when Heath Ledger's meeting the gangster scene from Dark Knight.
Yep.
No, that's exactly what he's going
for. Oh, yeah, and it's just falls on its face completely.
But, like, flipping the power struggle of him being the one in charge and whatever. And...
Well, it doesn't help that the Joker's dressed like Zsa Zsa Gabor. Like,
it's kind of going for an Elton John thing, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. But he's damaged, okay?
Yeah.
Damaged.
How do you know,
tattoos,
Steve?
Why?
Why do you think he's damaged?
I think the worst part, though, isn't even the damage tattoo. It's the grill, the metal grill that he has in, because any other shot other than like straight on with his face, it looks like he's just wearing braces.
Yeah.
Which is literally the least intimidating thing in the entire world.
Gangster braces.
I'm actually okay with the character having braces or having braces.
Because everybody deserves straight teeth. Man.
Yes, exactly. Especially if you're gonna be showing them all the time like the Joker does. But I'm okay with the Joker having grills, considering how violent we've seen this Batman be, where he's just punching people left and right in the face.
Yeah, he's probably lost a couple teeth.
Exactly.
I'm no doctor, but is the protocol when you get someone in the emergency room? Oh God, this person's dying. Rip all their clothes off. Make sure they're naked, mostly.
So many post-it notes, and that's how you know she's busy.
Right. Yeah.
She's just enchantressing.
Yeah.
Which is gonna witch.
Which is which?
Does it have like a magic detector?
I wondered about that myself.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I like that she like swims to the binder. Ooh. Drunk girl reads.
Oh my God!
Why
More
would you
terrible
not-
font choices.
Yeah.
Midway City.
The default font that this movie uses is called Aftershock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's actually like, go talk to like any graphic design person and ask them like, top 10 worst fonts, and they'll go through the obvious, like Comic Sans and papyrus like that. Yeah, I guarantee Aftershock is on there. It's like a low key underground worst font ever.
Papyrus.
Aftershock is like edgy Gen X papyrus.
Yikes.
Ooh, we might actually have that font on our logo, actually.
It is a little similar at times,
It's
but
yeah.
we execute with class.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is all just an excuse. Like, I wanted to watch this so I could just throw shade at your logo. Like,
That's
okay.
I was kind of suspicious. I'm very, very sensitive about our logo.
But our logo was done by friend of the show, Dia Ketty, and she did a wonderful job.
It couldn't be more perfect. Thank you once again. Enchantress says Enchantress. Now it's July, you twat.
I'm May, her sister.
oh, Lord.
Yeah, where are they? People all just live in hotels nowadays.
Pretty much.
No.
We have a good authority. It is not Aftershock.
Yeah, it's not
on our
Aftershock.
Yeah, we looked it up.
Thank God.
It's critical.
We hear in Good Brews Bad Reviews provide you immediate feedback on your questions.
Yep. Before you even ask them.
That's too bad, because I was really hoping to just show up and within 20 minutes throw your whole show under the bus.
Dismantle our podcast.
That's
what I do.
That's a really good
your show. They're not
Was
watching
that
the
guy-
video along with it.
That guy was just staring at a column that didn't have a poster on it or anything. I didn't see any signage. There was
So is that guy.
some fat white guy in the background just staring at a column with nothing on it.
He's a replicant.
People guys.
Yes, jog.
Yeah. Good jogging.
Officer 21.
Oh, boy.
See, you didn't say doctor, so he's probably didn't pass medical school.
Right.
Just I'm a physician. I do like this horrible
Katamari
rolling
Damashi.
La, la,
La, la, la, la, la, la, la, la, la. I love that electricity is just Hollywood's go-to for
It gives it
electricity
power.
equals whatever the fuck we want it to.
Yeah. That's how you make murderous Katamari.
Right.
It's amazing that this guy was just, or that they were like, no, we'll never do this. And now they're like, oh, something's wrong. Send him in.
Yep. Oh shit.
So once again, with they have no training with
Where did that come from?
Task Force X, aka the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
They don't attempt to contact any superheroes. Their go-to is, we threw this together a week ago. It's time to just toss them out there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's always becomes like the heroes are very much like, no, we don't talk with you, and the government doesn't like that because that implies they don't have control.
Yeah.
Ozzy.
It's Crazy Train, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. What the hell song is this?
Wonder how pruny he is.
Yeah, wrinkly as hell. Yeah, like oh yeah, right here. Yeah, the guy gets pulled in. If it's that dangerous, why would you keep him in there?
Yeah, you think they'd be rethinking all of this? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, we just lost 3 soldiers.
Yep. Our insurance premiums are going to go through the roof.
Mm-hmm. Lord.
I thought this was funny. I thought.
Yep. Just when he's like just off the cuff, just
Right.
gabbing.
I could
I like this. Oh, you deaf?
I could
thought
have
that was
been okay
funny.
with the movie starting here.
Just about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially considering they spent, I mean, how far are we into this now? Like
Way
45,
minutes?
30 minutes, 40 minutes? I don't even know.
That's. I don't
It's
know.
hard to tell because a movie
Nobody's-
like this seems like it goes
Yeah.
on forever.
How does Quinn have
Yeah.
that cell phone? Like really?
How does no one see him give her that cell phone?
Yeah. But just like all the exposition, but it's not even exposition that tells us anything about the characters or the like. It doesn't do anything for the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
He's been busy. He's in a meeting with Dr. Van Cross.
Did I do that? All right. What we need here is a purple croc skin coat.
Obviously. I actually think the goofy Batman mask is the best one out of this second batch.
And I like the smiling brothers. You time. See?
Tablet.
Tablets.
Yep.
Hey, Ryan, it's your
Hey,
overlords.
Samsung tablets. Being an accessory wherever you need it. Warning. Why did that sound like the Ghostbuster proton packs turning on when he
It
opened it?
did.
So
What the hell?
is he manufacturing the injection devices or the actual little tablets to blow people up?
Both. It looks like
Whichever one-
because, the cases that had the injection guns in them when they were shooting them up had Van Chris, so I assume it's like a 2-for-1
Yeah.
deal.
It just seems odd that it'd be like a single use thing there. So
Yeah, I mean it's just a little like syringe with a I don't
Yeah.
know.
And
Yeah,
Sean
let's-
Schwartz.
we're assembling the task force, but let's send in the magic which
Yeah.
we can barely control.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
Oh.
Like them calling in Task Force X only makes sense if this doesn't work.
Right.
yes. So he just like gives her some of his power. Is that what this happens?
I
here?
guess.
Yeah,
Like
he's been like eating people, I guess,
yeah.
and gave her saved by a costume change.
All
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm. That's all it takes. Stop with this font.
It's really getting to you.
Well, it also like the subtitles that they have here. They just take up like a quarter of the screen. Like
They do.
Yeah.
They want you to make
Huge.
sure you know exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, I need to hear all your genie mumbling.
Yeah.
And
Are you implying that the big guy is just DC Jafar? Is that what's happening here?
Exactly what he is.
Mesoamerican genie mumbling.
And then they make the ancient entities make some kind of like
Hypergeometric
machine,
I don't know.
or what did you call it, Steve? The CGI blob.
Yeah, it's
The CGI blob number 574 of 2016.
Requisite. Race the world engine, but spooky kind. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I want to know how you contacted the worldwide military.
Right, yeah.
They got a bunch of red phones.
Right.
Yeah.
So you pick them all off the hook at the same time and talk to them.
They did
Yell
a
at 'em.
Skype conference call.
Oh, Lord.
All right, and 15 seconds tells us the entire city was evacuated immediately.
We probably should have said that we're watching the theatrical cut of this movie, as we didn't want to
Right.
put an extra 15 minutes of pain into this.
Yeah, thank God. Seven Nation Army, get it? Because they're like an army.
Oh, White Stripes, I'm so sorry you're in this movie.
You know, there are 12-year-old boys putting together iTunes playlists right now that have more thought than the soundtrack to this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some executive, or maybe David Ayer himself, was like, you know what would be funny is if she tried to introduce herself to everybody.
Right.
Right up there with the decision of her having an inconsistent New York, Long Island accent.
Yeah.
She's got to crank it up so she can say that puddin' line that everybody loves so much.
Puddin'.
Everybody loves the puddin'.
Yeah.
I do like Jai Courtney's introduction to the entire group once he gets unzipped from this bag.
You know, when I saw this, the late Trevor Goddard is the person I envisioned as Captain Boomerang in this movie. And for those who don't know who that is, he played Kano in the live-action Mortal Kombat movie.
Were this movie made in 96, he probably would have been cast.
What kind of squeaky bullshit was that?
That's because he's wacky.
Shock
Oh.
He's a
Ozzy.
wacky guy. We learned that in 30 seconds. And then it doesn't make any sense or have any bearing on the movie at all.
Right.
There we go. More women punching.
Ha 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 ha.
And we laugh about it.
Yeah, she's crazy, you guys. Nanite, nanos, internets, binary.
No matter what the Wu-Tang says, you cannot protect your neck in this movie.
I think Jai Courtney's wearing the same necklace as the Joker, by the way.
Oh, that would be great.
I can't confirm it, but
They
after
spent-
seeing this for a third time, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing.
They spent so much money on the soundtrack for this movie, they could not afford more jewelry for
More
costumes.
necklaces.
More necklaces.
Yep.
I'm an American bad ass.
Lord.
Is this? I don't recognize this actor, the guy who plays Flag, from anything. Do you guys? Have you seen him in?
No,
other
I feel
stuff?
like I thought the same thing when I saw the movie for the first time. And, oh, God, this again. I'm sorry.
We're
People gotta
2000
think I'm
we're
crazy
in
'cause I'm just, like,
2003.
groaning all the time.
Well, you'll notice then when Harley opens her case, anytime she bends over to do anything, it's the very deliberate, very distinct. Hey, ass out as far as you can get it. Every time she bends at the waist.
Cameron needs to leer on it, man. That's
Yeah.
David Ayer's.
We're getting.
Stop around.
We'll be getting to the most obligatory of it, or not obligatory,
Just
but
about,
obvious of
yeah.
it. Sorry.
That gun is pretty sweet. I would.
No, it's not.
I like it.
But yeah, anyways, that actor, I looked him up on IMDb, and he's just like, he's in a bunch of stuff, but you'd never recognize him because he's the most bland, generic, white bread dude ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
White
here we go,
bread.
pink unicorn.
You
Just
said
like
you
Max's
had a
favorite
comment
movie.
about that? Hey, you leave Blade Runner alone.
I like that not only did they use this song, but they decided to edit the song so the lyrics were playing the whole time, too.
And cut out the non-PG-13 parts.
Right.
I'm sorry, but what the hell's with the shoes?
Right. And they just
great.
have everybody stand out on the concrete here and just change clothes in front of everybody, apparently.
Yep.
Seems normal. See? And again.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
bad. Bad Harley.
Well, you know, I guess she was good for cosplayers across the country, so. she's
Oh
done.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were at Gen Con last year, the four of us, right the day this movie came out, and I think there were more Suicide Squad Harley Quinns than there were anything else.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
by
by
think
far,
you're right,
the
yeah.
most popular.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Like-
wonder. Oh, go ahead.
My sister, who's not even like a comic book person, you went to see this movie with because general mutual interest.
Tablet.
He's like, oh yeah, so many people are going to use this as like their Halloween costume this year.
Yeah.
So for Metal Gear Solid 5, Hideo Kojima specifically did the character design for the character. What is it? Silent?
Silent, yes.
Specifically just slutted her up hardcore because he was excited to see the cosplays that would result from it. And I can't help but feel that David Ayer had a similar goal, whether or not he shared that with Quinn's appearance in this movie.
Yeah, it's like, I want to see half-naked women in cosplay because I'm a pervert. And also, you guys can't insult Silent or Quiet or whatever because it's her magical, like, camouflage skin. So that's
okay.
Yeah.
I haven't actually played the game. So
She breathes through her skin, I believe, right?
Super sensitive skin or whatever.
Something like
I
that.
have heard.
Yeah. I think she breathes through it, so she can't take showers or she'd drown.
You know what? I got sensitive skin. I use a good
Oh,
moisturizer.
whatever.
That's all you need.
Yep.
It's stupid.
Hey,
it's all it is. It's just like him thinking with his penis and then explaining it away later with something ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. And then Katana comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Who's this?
Yeah, the movie's almost halfway over. Here's a new character to not give a fuck about.
Well, no, literally in the last 2 minutes or 10 minutes, we've been introduced to 2 new characters.
Yeah.
One of which just showed up and punched a woman and came out of nowhere.
Yep.
The other, Katana, we don't know anything about her, what she's doing here. Is she a bad guy? What? I don't know anything about her.
Other than...
It would have made more sense if she was like following Flag around for the last half an hour.
Yeah.
But-
Exactly. Ugh.
One sword stroke. All Asian people have swords, you hear?
Yeah.
I feel like that, like the exposition for like her backstory was added in like at the final arc. Like, oh wait, we need to have this person be explained.
At least a tiny bit. A couple of frames.
More music.
Yeah. Spirit in the sky. Because they're in the sky in helicopters. Could you be any more literal?
They do get more literal later.
Yeah, they do. She still got her pink sparkly BlackBerry.
Yeah, literally no one notices this.
Yep.
Only
Deadpool
Deadshot.
does, and he's like, well, I do like not being in prison.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
No. And this movie had like really bad special effects a lot of the times. I thought they're just crap.
Well, yeah, considering the budget and the scope of the entire movie, you'd think that some things would look a lot better than they did.
I think that about a lot of things, but here we
Yeah.
are, 2017.
Yep. I mean, Enchantress's brother doesn't look very great.
No.
Some of the El Diablo CGI doesn't look so hot.
I do kind of like Enchantress's brother, like when he burns through stuff, just the after effect of it.
Oh
to
yeah,
me
the
looks-
kind of like spiky.
Yeah, almost like the
gooey-
melted burnt glass
they-
look that it
I
has.
feel like they couldn't decide on what the effect they wanted for that was, so
Right.
they're just like, just do it all.
Yeah,
Make it melty and sharp.
right. The end result is okay in that regard, I think.
Suicide Squad. Sometimes stuff looks okay.
A lot of the time, it's just poorly lit.
Oh shit! Rick Flag played RoboCop in the RoboCop reboot that was.
That's
not
what
very
he
good.
was in.
Yep,
That's
see?
why I blotted him out from my mind.
Oh, that movie's...
Generic guy and a bunch of crap.
Yeah. That's a bad movie.
Stop remaking 80s movies, Hollywood.
Or at least do it right. Damn it!
Or just okay, yeah, you can do that with Mad Max.
So, one more question for you guys that is unanswerable.
Okay.
We send in the Suicide Squad
Okay.
because it's a suicide mission, and
Yep.
only they can do it because reasons. But okay, we'll
Okay.
just, we'll
All
just
right. Yeah.
accept
Okay.
that.
So far, 100% sense. Okay, go on.
Why do we still have Marines here? Are the Suicide Squad here to back up the Marines? Are the Marines not capable on their own? Would you rather have Captain Boomerang in your corner or a Marine?
I'm gonna go with the latter on that one. Dr. Cuffington.
Particularly because this mission, which isn't the mission to go fight the bad guys that we've been seeing.
Which is why the Suicide Squad
why
was
the Suicide Squad was
assembled in the
assembled.
first place.
This whole mission they're doing right now, they're told to avoid fighting anything.
Checking stuff out.
Yep.
Just look and go get Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and the
Which,
unfortunate
spoiler
answer
alert,
here is
Is what
Davis.
they're doing.
yeah. I mean, the whole reason they have all these Marines here is because they need cannon fodder. They need a body count. They need people,
Right.
you know,
Yep.
things like
They're
that.
filling screen time with just hollow action.
Yep.
There we go.
I laughed at this scene for all the wrong reasons in the fucking theater. How terrible this looks with Slipknot hopping around, and then the resulting aftermath.
And there we go. Slipknot's head blows up.
And he's the Hangman Tarot card.
All right.
That's it.
Is that a very scrawny Vin Diesel?
So that guy, he had
Millennials like apps, huh?
he had literally one line, right? His only line was he punched that woman in the
She
face
had a
and
mouth.
said she had a mouth. So that guy,
I think he might have exchanged some words with Boomerang, but I don't.
I think it was just silent nodding.
man, can
I
you
was
imagine
silently.
getting
I was
paid like $1
silently
million
nodding to Ryan's. Oh gosh,
to
yeah.
say 4 words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wait for some Harley ass. Here it comes. Yeah, there it goes.
Yep.
Even Will Smith was looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the accent.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's real thick right now, that accent.
Yep.
And I don't know necessarily that any of that's on Margot. I don't know.
Oh, I think it totally is.
But as people putting together this film, couldn't you be like, yeah, hey, your accent is hilariously inconsistent, and notice it and reshoot?
I don't imagine shooting in Toronto is cheap.
Well, I mean, they did have to reshoot God knows how much of this movie, so.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just overdubbed it.
Yeah,
like
I was
just
gonna say they
80
could've
artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, can you guys feel the tension rising?
No.
No,
I
it's
can
not
see
that.
I can see the amount of light on the scene dropping.
All right.
Yeah, that's the other great thing about this movie is, David Ayer trying to create his beautiful world for him to play in. It's like, no, it's a bombed out brown and black city with, little fires everywhere. This is the most generic set I've ever seen.
Right.
And it's so dark and the lighting's so flat that everything just looks like hot garbage.
Yep.
Right. Is this just the aftermath from London Has Fallen? Is this what's going
Pretty
on here?
much.
Probably.
And again, the orders, do not engage, go around. And they're like, okay, we'll stand here and shoot things.
Because they stand around gawking.
All right. Blah, blah. And the guy playing, interesting, the guy playing El Diablo, Jay Hernandez, is the main character from Hostel, which is a movie I thought was okay. First Hostel. I liked it. Angry putties.
Oh, and here are the, they're putties mixed with the creatures from The Last of Us.
Oh, shit.
There you go.
Clicker putties? Dude. The game is so good.
I'd really like to see what these character designs look like, but there's no lighting in this.
Yeah, right.
So you don't need to see any of that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not an answer to his question.
Why are they bothering? Did I miss something for this scene? Like, seriously, why are they bothering with any of this?
I don't know, but they're apparently shooting tracer rounds.
Right.
I like his opening up with Foster's.
Yeah. Commence obligatory.
You gotta hit him in
action.
the Z's. That's how you defeat the putties. Come on, everyone knows that.
And for as much as this movie action as this movie has, rarely is it cool.
Because it's all poorly lit.
It's poorly lit. Like the choreography is just uninspired. I don't know.
Now, we're supposed to assume that these putty monsters came from evil Dr. Genie and Enchantress.
Right.
Yeah.
Jafar and Jafar S.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jafar and Jafar S, sure. But again,
Diablo, you cannot exit this movie.
we don't see him doing any of this stuff. Like they don't ever actually show these people turning into these things, right?
There is one scene.
There's
Yeah.
one scene.
It's
Okay.
like
4
10
seconds.
long. We were like,
Yeah.
he gets us a dude and his
Yeah,
head
imagine,
gets all
I probably
gooey.
blinked and missed it.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, being in front of this movie, your eyelids will tend to just try and stay closed as long as they can, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not the booze.
Oh no, not
No.
the pink unicorn again.
Pinky, come back.
But Steve, you mentioned earlier, or before we started recording, that El Diablo is sort of like the the audience avatar of this movie.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
always
he's the
just
audience
trying to
surrogate.
audience surrogate. Yeah, he's always trying to leave the movie.
Doesn't want to be here.
Debate.
Yeah.
Oh, the entire time he's just dragging his feet, talking about how he's not going to fight, not going to do anything.
Pile.
Here's Harley's indestructible baseball bat.
More useful than bullets.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes almost cartoonish hollow instrument sounds when she hits things.
Yep.
All
Yeah,
the
the explosion would have been cool to see, but no, we got to see slow motion Croc body slam someone.
Of all the things for this movie to be technically correct on, it's the back blast from the bazooka.
Back
Right.
blast and
Or the
government
AT-4.
plates.
Yeah, and government plates.
Government plates, dog.
This list is getting really long. Maybe I should reconsider my stance on Suicide Squad.
Yeah, probably.
No, you shouldn't.
And there's another scene right here that could have been cool if choreographed right, is that they just show Deadshot going
Yeah.
bonkers and wiping all these guys out by himself.
But the camera angle changes so much and is never focused directly on him. It's always like a view from like more of that direct shots.
Right.
And with this cool killing mask on.
Right.
Like I understand this is like a big part of like the trailer and like a big scene for Will Smith in this movie when he's on cars blasting people, but just not shot well.
No, this
cut
movie
with
has
bullets.
serious issues with, not only pacing their action, but just communicating what's going on in the scene to the audience.
That scene was like 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
Blah, scary.
More of the movie. If there was more of that kind of stuff in the movie,
I wanted more Captain Boomerang because of just like his weird little antics like that. Sneaking off to drink a beer mid-fight.
Well, and
Well-
if that's the angle they want to go to, and that's one of the other problems with this movie, God, the list is growing.
Yep.
It has serious tone issues where it doesn't
Yeah.
know if it wants to be like grim, dark, serious Zack Snyder DC stuff, or if it wants to be funny and light.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just kind of treads this weird middle ground without a consistent tone, and it's bad.
Yeah, it falls apart.
Yeah. Well, and part of it to me too is that none of the characters. I mean, Harley's got her accent and everything, but none of the characters have really a distinctive way that they speak, their word choice or anything. Everybody is just a very vanilla vocabulary.
Yeah. With the exception, perhaps, of Croc, but
Yeah,
He
but
doesn't just say much.
doesn't
Yeah.
say much. But if you looked at everyone's lines and just said lines without any context, you wouldn't be able to really tell
Oh, yeah.
who
Like
was
that-
speaking it.
Yeah, like Jack Courtney's Lance Boomerang there could have easily been Deadshot, making fun of Diablo, which he does later.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Where he's like, what you doing, blah, 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 blah.
So this is what you were looking for, Steve, with
Oh, yeah.
with drunk bar lady
There we
transforming
go. Yep.
putties.
Smooches.
Thanks for driving me home.
Yeah, thanks for the Jaeger shot.
And does any of you guys think that the voice that she has sounds really hammy and bad?
They had to make it over the top.
It sounds like you're like, hey, generic Auntie Janine, butt cheeks, make a scary voice, please. And like, this is the result. There's monsters under your
completely
bed.
trailer
Yep.
scene.
Trailer
Like,
moment.
that's one of those scenes from the trailer you see in the trailer, but you don't expect to actually see in the movie,
Yeah.
But no. We have to leave that in because, they're bad. And another butt shot.
Reminder that Will Smith has a daughter and isn't a bad person, even though he murders people for a living.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
You know who has children? Osama bin Laden had children.
BBC just did a report about how one of his sons is taking up the family business too.
Fantastic.
So
That's good.
yeah.
I'm
It's Miller time. Did anybody understand?
That's what they said. It's Miller time. That's what they say in Ghostbusters after they defeat the Stay Puft Man.
Okay,
It's Miller time.
but okay. I mean,
it was funny
That's
there.
not a catchphrase that
No.
Miller's used in a while. Steve, am I right on that? You're the PR guy.
Yeah, I don't think Miller Time's been a thing for like 5 years, 10 years maybe.
Maybe it's generic army banter. I don't know, or military banter.
Oh, Lord.
They probably saved a lot of money in this movie by not having things lit up ever. with
Yeah,
lights.
lighting is expensive.
Yeah. Thanks, Edison.
Thanks, Tesla.
So now that they're into this office building, the movie falls apart in a different way. So
It's
we
been
go from
falling
this-
apart since it started.
Yeah, it just finds new ways to unravel. It's like a giant onion made of like diarrhea, where the layers just keep falling off.
Nice.
So you could have. There's a lot of opportunities here for like really cool, like claustrophobic action scenes, stuff like that.
Poorly lit at once.
Sure.
Was that sexting?
Take a couple cues from The Raid or the Judge Dredd movie that came out a couple of years ago. But no, we don't get that at all. We get another dark, muddled, stupid, flat-looking action scene.
Right. Again, just completely unoriginal choreography throughout most of it.
And we also need to give Harley her entire big moment because she's the big star of this movie. Which, okay, yeah, I understand. This, like, DC's big three is not Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. It's Batman, Joker, Harley.
Right.
That's the big three of DC. So, okay. And because of this movie, like, the Flash movie's being delayed so they can make Gotham City Sirens, which is Harley, Ivy, and Catwoman. So,
There we go.
Yep.
Yep.
Another butt shot.
Plenty of cheek. So one of you guys mentioned a minute or two ago about you wanted to see more of Captain Boomerang, you know, kind of doing the whole woo with the
Or
lighter.
just hit more antics,
Yeah.
more boomerang
And
nonsense.
that's something that an ensemble movie like this, well, in this case, just doesn't do that the Marvel movies did. There's so much of just the main protagonists playing off of each other in a large portion of the movie for various reasons that this movie doesn't do.
No.
Like
Well,
there's the shoehorned, like, hey, look at me, here's the lighter, I'm antagonizing you. But for the most part, everybody in this movie is like, yeah, okay, let's do it. You know, I mean, they're rarely playing off each other in meaningful ways.
Well, I mean, the difference in there is, one, in the Marvel movies, everyone's already had their own established solo film where you've got to determine their character. And
I
two,
agree.
they're motivated by doing the greater good as opposed to having a bomb in their neck.
I agree.
All right, here's our big office scene action crap. This is basically like, what if Aliens was unwatchable? That's
Right,
oh,
right.
gosh, yeah. And about the
guys dropping on the ceiling.
About the Monday through Friday as opposed to Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Because, after the last, 15-minute gun battle, what we needed was another one.
Right.
Like that's funny right there. He gets stabbed.
yeah,
and he
the
pulls
stab
it
and
up,
the stuck with the money, yeah.
stuck in the money.
That was one of the few cool shots with her being spun around and taking that clean shot, the headshot.
I would have much rather had that opening fight with him with the mask on and this one with the mask off.
Right.
Maybe they should just start the movie here,
Yeah, when it's almost over.
Yeah.
It's actually a 30-minute short.
Oh, man, I didn't think of this. So with that little touchpad of his, that would be the most catastrophic butt dial I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Seriously.
The butt bomb.
He just looks like he has a volleyball on his head. I don't know.
Yeah.
His real name's Wilson.
Hey, Diablo, it's not my fight either. I feel you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dick measuring contest.
Yeah. Now that Chris Pine, now that Chris Evans is Captain America, I have my chance to be the top flaming character on screen.
Oh, Lord.
This movie always has its 3D effect moments too.
Yep.
Right.
Hey, look, the lighting somehow got worse.
Yep.
Yeah, even though everything's on fire.
Just make it look hazy. Please don't touch me.
Crazy bitch. Mm-hmm. Has there been a movie that has a spiral staircase that hasn't been shot in this exact same way?
It's the only way to do it.
No,
man.
Right.
no, there hasn't. 'Cause how else will you establish they're in a spiral staircase? Maybe Inception?
It's kind of hard to tell, too, if we have, like, any concept of if they know what they're getting into, basically. Like, they're just moving forward towards this giant blob in the sky, but It's
Right.
not
No,
really
that's-
clear if they understand.
But they're
That's
not
not
even
even why they're
doing.
there.
They're not even there
for
yet.
Blob in the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
you're right.
they-
They're not even at the blob of the sky. They're
I don't
just in
even
the
think
office
they've
building.
acknowledged it yet. Really,
They're like,
barely.
oh, what's that? And they're like, nothing.
like it.
Yeah. You know what we needed? This movie needed more of? More domestic abuse.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
So I'm glad that we have this whole interlude in the middle of a movie that's already dragging its feet.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, boy, this movie has pacing problems. Here's some random exposition an hour in.
Yeah.
And we need to use the expanded New 52 origin where she's also thrown in chemicals as opposed to just, being tortured.
Joker's not a bad guy. He grew up with braces. A lot of people gave
Right? Yeah, you get.
gave him some guff.
Mm-hmm. People pick on you for that shit, man. Gotta get some thick skin, even if it does turn white and give
Vat
you
of
green
gravy?
hair.
So
Dude,
better
if you could
movie, she
push me
gets
into a
tossed
vat of
the
gravy anytime.
Comes back out as Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholas.
He comes out as a golfer
Yeah, he comes out as a golfer.
Yeah.
in clown
Goes
makeup.
back down, comes back up
Ah,
as,
right.
as the
Romero?
Joker.
She's got my Subway card in her fucking wallet.
One punch away from a free sandwich.
I mean, was this? I just
Free foot long.
I don't care where Harley came from. One, she's just around. That's okay. That's good enough for me. And then the second part of this too is like the Joker is spending all this time coming to get her. We already established that he wants to come get her.
Right.
That he cares about her. We don't need this scene for anything else besides they wanted to do that paint effect in the water.
But why else would we get blessed with this genius choreography and cinematography here?
Now, isn't there like hours of Joker footage that they shot that they didn't use for this movie also?
Supposedly, Jared Leto said there's enough Joker footage for an entire movie of just Joker footage.
Okay.
Well, that sounds like a movie I'd never want to watch.
Yeah.
God, no. No.
That's another good thing about this movie is the Joker is probably the worst part, but at least the movie is kind enough to minimize his role.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the other bad things we have to experience for a full 2 hours, unfortunately.
Like, I think he could have been used effectively if it had just been like when they have the little intro for Harley, you see her talking to him on the couch and he's all shadowy. If there was that, and you could, and if in that previous scene you saw him from like the back and could just hear him talking but never actually saw his face,
Yeah.
Right.
or maybe like just saw his mouth.
Hey,
you
man,
know?
that's not going to sell action figures.
Well,
Right.
of course not. No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
if we
but-
never saw him the whole time through this movie, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you knew he had a presence, like you knew he was coming for her, but you never actually saw him,
Right, almost taking the Spielberg kind of Jaws approach, not showing the monster but implying that it's there, right?
Yes, yes.
Weird.
Yeah.
Taking Hollywood actors and turning them into clown golfers.
And there's the moment
Fight
where
those teens in Angel Grove with them.
she's turning normal people into these mindless automatons, and she's like, "Isn't that cool? This is awesome."
But she's such a cold and calculating bitch, James.
But that's just not. I mean, again, it's them completely missing the mark on her, as they demonstrate further in this scene when she murders all the FBI agents.
Right.
Yep.
Did no one
Because-
close the fucking door to keep the Suicide Squad out of this room?
No, they didn't.
No.
He was
Open
just
door
like, "Please don't
policy.
come in here."
No villains allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
It's nice that they had computer screens that said hard drive wipe
Wipe
complete.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a good touch.
I mean, she's supposed to be this horrible, calculating person,
Yeah.
but she doesn't shoot people.
No. He gets them fired or like
Ruins
has
their
been
life.
killed.
or shackled to a desk or something.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to defend the character of her
No.
character. But
No.
that, like, just killing people because they don't have clearance for what happened is not...
You let them in there. That's why they have clearance.
Yeah.
But no, the Wall, as Amanda Waller is known as, because she's in the comics, she's like
Hey guys,
big.
butts.
Yeah.
She's a real badass of a character who like stands up to Batman and be like, "What you got, you piece of crap?"
Yeah.
She wants to get to chopping, man.
Yeah, I do appreciate Katana's willingness to just kill everybody.
right. I'm on board with her.
I've got no bob in my neck.
Yeah. The sooner she wipes out everyone in this movie, the better.
Yeah.
And I do like how Boomerang is attracted to that. Like how she just like, I'm going to kill you now. She's like, ooh, yeah, let's get a drink.
Yeah.
I want a woman who will kill me at a drop of a dime.
Croc's getting hot.
And David Ayer likes racial stereotypes.
All right.
Racial stereotypes aside, this movie is pretty diversely cast.
I guess it has that going for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 3 African Americans in the main cast.
One
Japanese... assuming that Katana is actually played by a Japanese person.
One ambiguously American Indian dude who
I don't
gets
know,
his
man.
head
You
blown
seen
off
Cloud
immediately.
Atlas? They can do great things with makeup these
They
days.
can do big things with makeup, yeah. So, women in position of power, you know. I'm trying to make this. I'm trying to say good things about this movie, but I can't.
I think you're starting to get a nosebleed, Max.
Yeah. Like, I'm here to save my girlfriend, so I'm just gonna I'm just gonna
shoot everything.
Sweep the whole top of the roof.
With like gold-plated AK-47.
Yeah.
He still has time to send a text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how the Joker like contact photos already been programmed into the phone
Right,
as
right.
well.
Yeah.
You have
No,
a gun. He's holding a gun and she
The
just
tablet
walks
won't
by.
work.
It's the only way.
My arm tablet.
For a Ford.
Need a bigger tablet.
Right. Away she goes.
And nobody shoots her.
No.
Yeah,
Literally anyone shoots her.
no one else has any guns.
Yeah. We all have automatic weapons. You could literally just spray and pray. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just Hanzo that shit. You'll get her.
Yeah. So it.
Captain Boomerang disapproves.
Oh, here's a big moment.
Yep.
You're the only guy with a gun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't do it.
That looked weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it was missing a couple frames.
It looked like the ragdoll physics from early
From
2000s.
everything.
Yeah.
Right.
When you're playing Half-Life 2 and you click and drag the body and just kind of like flails wildly.
Yeah.
My joints are jello.
This seems like something she should have done 2 minutes ago.
Yes.
Right.
While they were being shot at.
Yeah.
Yep, and that whole thing had to be shot from, under her ass as she was going up the rope.
It's essential, Ryan.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And his animalistic groans the whole time.
Yeah.
Grape soda on ice.
Because he's crazy, Max. Only a crazy person would talk about that. He really is funny. I mean, that was funny, you guys. Why aren't you laughing?
His Joker voice goes between all of the different Jokers.
Yep.
Like he couldn't,
Because he's crazy.
he couldn't
Yeah.
even make his own Joker.
No.
What it feels like they're cutting around a lot of his dialogue too, because there's no like cadence to his voice or anything. He's just sort of like mumbling through everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, if you had a giant hunk of metal in your mouth and you're like,
I'm the Joker. Yeah.
Get some grape soda.
"Got some cream soda on ice and a bearskin rug." Obviously, they should have cast one of us. It was
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're the kind of people who would mail dead pigs' heads to co-actors.
Which David Ayer is a pile of shit. Volume 973. He has defended that move multiple times. Everything he did, he was just like, yeah, like Jared was this great actor, but after a couple weeks of shooting, I knew Jared wasn't there anymore. It was just the Joker, and I let him do whatever he wants. But really, Jared's a great guy. It's like, no, he's not a fucking great guy, because if you put yourself in a position where, you know, you're gonna get so into your character because you're a big douche, and then you like send dead animals to your coworkers. Good lord.
Especially when, like, none of that is okay ever.
No.
But the assumption that it seemed like a lot of the Hollywood reporting was when this movie was being made was that he was getting away with a lot of that because he was this key element to the movie. That he had I
thought he was going to be like the villain of the movie. Like that was the thing. It's like, oh, the Suicide Squad is going to capture the Joker. That was supposed to be like what the plot was.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, he's doing all this stuff, and they're letting him get away with it because they're trying to get people mad at him to be on screen and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's still not okay, but it's like, all right,
it's good press.
It's good press for it and everything. And then the movie comes out, and he's superfluous to the entire thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's just
So, I actually almost met Jared Leto once.
all right.
Yes. So
I'm listening.
in our hometown of New Baltimore, there used to be a coffee shop next to the comic book store before the comic book store moved. It's now a restaurant. They used to have bands play there. There used to be a band from Mount Clemens called Autopilot, which toured with 30 Seconds from Mars for like a short period. And I remember one day, like, I was hanging out with some friends, and they're like, oh, we're going to the coffee shop, this band's playing, and I'm like, I don't want to go. And then, like, the next day, they're like, oh, you should have gone to that show. 30 Seconds from Mars was there, and they played, like, a small set. And then, like, years and years later, when I was looking up, like, who Jared Leto was when this movie was coming out, because I'd heard of his name, but I couldn't put a name to the face, and I'm like, oh, it's that guy. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I know that band. That's the band that I could have saw when I was in high school that played in my shitty little hometown.
Well, you know, for what it's worth, not going to see 30 Seconds to Mars is probably the best decision you've ever made. 30 Seconds to Mars is like the Suicide Squad of alternative rock.
Oh boy. At least her whole top isn't see-through, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can see the bra, though.
Here's your bat.
Another hypothetical question for you guys.
Hypothetical answer. Go.
So, why do we need two terrible, underdeveloped villains instead of one good one?
Because we are still feeling the effects of Spider-Man 3, where you must cram as many villains as you can into a movie.
Right.
You know, it's interesting that you bring up Spider-Man 3, Max, because I think that, in my opinion, this movie commits... The biggest error this movie commits is the same error that Spider-Man 3 commits, in that it's just boring.
It's
a
very
really
boring. This is a very
movie.
boring movie.
There's stuff happening, but you don't care about any of it, and none of it's particularly interesting.
Yeah, and it's not that exciting.
And Spider-Man 3 is the same way, and this movie doesn't even have a cool pie scene.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
That
at
was a
least
great
like
shot.
Spider-Man 3 is bad but funny, like genuinely funny,
Yeah.
and occasionally not intentionally funny.
Yeah. Ooh, weird tendrils.
This is her previously unknown power.
Now that she has her heart back.
Yeah. Like, that's another one where they're trying to do more with her, but they showed earlier that even without her heart, she can just teleport anywhere and steal stuff.
Right.
So why does she need to make the, like, donut of doom
Right.
to destroy the world and figure out where things are? Can't she
seems
just,
like
like...
there's a more efficient way to do that.
Yeah.
She's doing a hell of a
The,
job right
the
now.
apocalypse fritter,
Yeah. I mean, like,
Apaka fritter.
the chaos crawler.
you know, I don't...
Punchki of pain.
I'll buy into stuff if you're going to use some logic with things. You know, we always talk about that if you, in your world he puts on the glasses and he's Clark Kent and nobody can tell, then just as long as you stick with your own internal logic, then
Right.
I'm okay with that. But there's no There's no logic to Enchantress.
No. Another one of Deadshot's superpowers is he's a speed reader. He read the whole binder in about 14 seconds.
Yeah.
No, it was just open to the page that says Enchantress is going to kill you all.
Oh, okay. Plus, Flag is boning the witch. It says that in the binder.
Hey, look, a flashback to something we've already seen.
Right.
Yep.
Also,
In case you forgot.
Yeah.
and I really like how Will Smith demands that they be told everything when it is abundantly clear that whatever they were sent here to do is completely different.
Right. Then what they're...
Like, this has been clear. Did you not think something was wrong when, like, the pollen spore zombies came after you?
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, oh, no, that's just normal happenings in DC.
So again, like James says, this is exactly what we were shown.
Yeah.
Except with 4 seconds of them showing you what you had imagined already as the audience happening.
Right.
So here's what happened. This was the movie. You could actually start the movie right here.
Right.
Yeah.
This is
Explain
the
all of
new
this.
optimal starting time.
Yep.
for
An
Suicide
hour and
Squad,
25 minutes in. Start
Yep.
the movie.
which will make this a painful but tolerable 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect length.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't get why they go through the whole bother of showing us that scene, that same exact scene earlier in the movie when their original mission has nothing to do with anything. It's like,
here's why. When they got to that building early on, or like 20 minutes ago when they were here to rescue Waller, I forgot why they were in the city. Like, I thought, like, oh yeah, they're there to stop Enchantress. That's not at all why they're there.
No.
They're
Right,
there
no,
to pick
it's
up
not.
Waller.
Well, that's
and
why-
I was confused. I'm like, wait, what are they doing? And that was
Yeah.
the first time I saw it in the theater, paying attention, not drinking this delicious beer.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, this is the third time I've seen this movie, and
Likewise.
it's still difficult to keep track of all the plot threads, which is insane because there's really not a ton going on.
No.
But it's
There's like
just
2.5.
so poorly conveyed and communicated
Yeah.
that it's a giant muddled mess.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at is that if they wouldn't have bothered showing us that in the first place, then maybe we wouldn't have had any intention of like, oh, what are they doing? We would have just been like, okay, they're being sent in, and then there's this weird donut thing in the sky, and where you're kind of going along with them that the government's lying to them about why they're there.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, maybe they should go back down in the subway and they can channel the movie Suicide Club and they can all just jump in front of the train.
Yeah. That's an excellent idea.
The end.
There's no to be continued on that one, huh, Steve? You did.
He's got face tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Exposition?
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie needs to slow down and give us more exposition.
Yeah.
How much of this movie is exposition, do you think?
Oh, that's a good
You know, it's not as much.
40%.
At the very beginning, there's a lot, and then they kind of intersperse it in through here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of just walking around in this movie. This movie's
Yeah, there's
like
a lot of walking from scene to scene,
Yeah.
walking through the scenes.
it's Lord
This
of the
is like the one time of the movie where it stops.
yeah, it's Lord of the Rings with less elves.
Right.
Yeah. I like the idea that like the more street rep that El Diablo got, like the more powerful he got. Like he kind of works off like the chaos magic power of belief thing, like because he's kind of like the embodiment of a god. If that little ending is to be taken,
A little bit, yeah.
It's super endearing to this gangster that he always remembers his wife as a stripper, just dancing like a stripper in a flame form. I can only remember my wife when she was hoeing it out.
I also think it's weird that he, like, she's mad because he has a bunch of guns, which is understandable because, like, dude, you shoot flames out of your fists? Like,
Yeah.
for having guns? And then also she originally got mad at him because it's like, oh, a house burned down. Like, that was the headline
Yeah.
in the LA Times or whatever. It's like, yeah, man, that happens in LA all the time.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, what are all those face tattoos from? I mean,
Right.
what's that tally count by your eye?
Right.
For? My accent.
He actually has a tally mark for every time I've groaned throughout this podcast recording.
Oh,
He doesn't have enough surface area
I'd
for
be
that,
looking like
Steve.
Mr. Zass if I did that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she transitions a couple times with her accent here, just in this scene, I think.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the ideal life that she's shown by Enchantress in like
Yeah, I think
5 minutes.
as she's projecting her own problems
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
And as we learned from Slipknot, women with mouths are ripe for the hitting.
I did not notice his gold tooth earlier in the movie, actually.
It's because it's poorly lit. You never see him from that angle.
Okay.
You always see him from like the left.
Oh God. It's the part where we're all supposed to laugh. It's funny.
Yep.
So how you guys liking the beer?
It's gone. I liked it.
yeah.
I would drink more.
Slam mine.
Yep. Yep.
This is one of the few IPAs I would drink more of happily.
Oh yeah.
I'll probably if there's a beer that I've drank the most in 2016, it's probably this.
Oh okay. Looking back, I'm trying to think. What was the most beer I drank? Maybe the Bell's Oktoberfest because I bought an entire case of it.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, that'll do it.
I'd still be catching up on Curmudgeon. That's the
Oh
one I
gosh,
probably
yeah,
got the
Ryan,
most of.
you were drinking that all the time.
So good. Founders. Oh, Flag, you RoboCopping bastard.
I've taken off my fingerless gloves. So.
And everybody's head just exploded.
Yeah.
And the movie is finally over.
And credits.
Yep.
Yay!
Now, if only.
Oh.
And that... So does that mean you've only been gone for like 8 days? I only see like 8 letters there.
That, and she also knows where government black sites are.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it just like writing to Santa Claus? You just
Also,
put it in the mail and it happens?
okay, so your daughter writes you every day, sure, and he carries around the letters.
Yep, just in the case I need to
Just-
be like, I've got these letters for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you assassinate that woman, I'll give you some.
Oh Lord.
Even if you're 7 pounds.
I feel like he's getting very I Am Legend now.
Is that other movie he's in? 7 pounds?
Yep, 7 pounds.
Yep.
That's another serious business Will Smith movie.
Yes, it is.
Where he talks in that exact same inflection.
Yep.
Heels, heels, heels.
Hey, bat time.
I don't understand why Katana doesn't go, because she's not obligated to whatever. I'm
I still
done.
understand.
I am done trying to make sense of this movie.
Is Katana a villain?
No, she's not.
No, she's Flag's bodyguard.
Flag's bodyguard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've established then that the government can contract with superheroes and work with them just fine.
I mean, I guess she's less a villain and more
so whatever.
more just a kind of a whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. A
I
tweener.
think she's a merc.
This is the part
It
where
depends on
Yeah.
what you want to do with it comics wise. I mean, you could say that, she's Batman's sleeper agent on the team, or
Yeah.
that,
Well, Batman obviously gave the camera Batarang technology from the Arkham series to Captain Boomerang.
Right. Also, if it's a boomerang, how's that camera not swirling a million times a second?
it's on a gyroscope.
Gyro controlled.
App integrated.
Right.
It's interesting too, Max, because I'm glad you have like this super in-depth comic knowledge because it helps to kind of contextualize some of this. But it actually makes me angrier. At this.
Yeah, because it's like,
Yeah.
this doesn't make sense
Like-
unless, why are these guys just, wait, we've got these air tanks just chilling about.
Yeah, the fact that you have to dig deep into your nerd archives to
Yeah.
explain simple things, like
Yeah.
I do like that the guy on the right is supposed to be a seal, even though he's
Yeah,
clearly
he's got a
just
fucking-
He's just 43-year-old
But it's-
dad.
it looks more like a manatee.
And they got Clint Eastwood's son.
yeah.
Y'all raised by someone who yells at a chair. For all I know, you don't know how to bomb shit.
It's important to note, too, that the movie is continuing with all these characters simply because they have nothing better to do.
Yep, pretty much, yeah. Just commit seppuku if you want to see him so badly.
Time for some harakiri.
Some more, exposition real
Yeah,
quickly.
another reason to just... Can you come to a screeching halt once you've already been halted? Like, can you do that? So, it's kind of
I think it's called like tripping over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm glad that they have him in the track jacket that says Captain on it also. Otherwise, I might not be able to figure out who he is.
Right.
Yep.
It's just funny. Hey, look, more Harley ass. Again, I mean, I like it, but I hate the way it's used.
No good. I do like that he swims like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, because he took off his velour suit that he was wearing, which was very handsome. He lives in a sewer and he owns a velour suit.
Mm-hmm.
I like the implied brutality of this set.
Right. It's one of the few sets that isn't just like generic space A.
Yeah. It's interesting that Midway City has the exact same subway font as New York City. Which
The tattered American flag.
which is iconic and I believe trademarked.
Probably.
Probs, dog.
She's filming a Shakira album.
Yeah. Well, you can't. You can't lie to the gods, James. She's speaking with her hips. Look at it. This I may have literally gone slack jawed at how dumb that looked in the theater.
This is a lot of work. It seems like they should have just brought the bomb with them.
Yeah.
It was on a 2-second timer, particularly because
yeah.
the seal kills himself setting the bomb off
Yeah.
also.
Yep.
So he could have, kamikazed it, or put the bomb on a sweet ass fucking boomerang and throw it at him.
Giant boomerang.
What the hell?
Like it seems like one of them could have just held it and Killer Croc could have just chucked him at them.
Right.
The dude.
What makes them think that a bomb will stop them anyway? Like,
I
why
don't know.
more so than bullets or, gangster flame man or anything
Right.
else they've done? Why a bomb?
Well, they actually haven't fought this thing yet.
You know what she looks like? You ever seen those exercise things where it's just like half of a ball that you have to stand on and try to balance?
Yeah.
It looks like she's just on that the whole fucking time.
Exercise ball.
Just trying to keep her balance.
I'm telling you, man, you're never going to see a dancing drunk girl in a bar ever again and not just be
Think
like,
of this fucking bullshit.
Just put if you see it, put Shakira on as well.
Right.
This scene always bothered me.
Yeah,
because-
Steve, give us more, because I'm in total agreement with you here. Go ahead.
So if we think about like who Harley Quinn has been established as a character, okay, and what she represents and what she loves about the Joker, which is this, she apparently loves her abusive relationship and just the craziness and the insanity. Why would her ultimate fantasy be like white picket fence, 2.5 children, domestic suburban life?
Right. It
Like
doesn't
that
make
would be
any
the
sense.
farthest thing from her ultimate fantasy.
Absolutely.
And if that is what she fantasizes, then why would she have such a strong bond with the Joker? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree with that dissection of that scene.
That fantasy calls back to the character that's developed in the animated series and in the comic, or in some of the good comics, but not to the character that's developed in this movie.
Yeah.
No. So says the internet that apparently what Margot Robbie's reading, or her Harley reading list, like the stuff that she's like, you need to read these Harley comics to get Harley or whatever. It's more of the, I'm an independent woman, decide who's sent. Because in the comics, they've since broken her off
Yeah.
from the Joker to try to make her her own established, non-abused female. So, which, yay on that. And it's, if you're going to be continuing to use this character who is, so popular amongst, men and women or whatever, that you should portray that side of it. Her.
Yeah, which you don't get any of that.
No.
I like the thriller she did there just a moment ago.
Yeah,
thriller to the right.
They do none of the
that looks
independent
bad.
woman stuff in this.
No.
I like that the villains in this movie are basically the Destroyer from Thor.
From Thor 1, yeah.
Thor 1, and
Shakira.
well, Shakira mixed with Grendel's mother from the Bad Beowulf movie from 10 years ago.
There we go.
And the whole just attachment that apparently we're supposed to believe that El Diablo has developed with the rest of the group here is completely unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I missed something.
These
but
are
I'm pretty
his
sure he's
people?
hated these guys.
Yeah, he's been with them for what, a day? Two days?
Oh, and guess what? Oh, it grows back because, of course.
Because movies.
Yeah.
Magic.
I'm impressed that he was able to grow that back without the electricity from a train, railroad thing.
Yeah.
You already showed us who you really are. Oh no, you got to get into your
Yep. Here we go.
cool guy transformation.
Yep.
This did come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I thought it was neat that it came out of nowhere, that they give you one hint in the
Right.
movie.
Yeah, I missed that until the third viewing, where I'm like, he makes a flame face? Because you've seen him make little shapes before.
Yeah.
But I thought he was just making I am death and flame. Then it's like, oh no, I'm becoming Mesoamerican fire deity.
And then they hit it with that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruin the whole thing.
Right.
It's like in London Has Fallen. Whenever there's some heartfelt moment, they go and just
And Mike's all like, yeah, fuck shit, dog, America dicks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, you can't tell what's happening in the underwater scene at all.
No, they're being attacked by the scuba squad from Batman Forever, for all you know.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This whole sequence where they're trying to stop Enchantress and what's his face,
Her brother.
yeah, her brother, who we don't really know the name of.
Yep.
There's just it's so messy. There's so many things that you're just like, wait, what? Why?
Yeah.
Huh?
It would have been cool. I mean, on the one hand, it would have been cool if he's the one who would have destroyed her brother, but nope, you fail.
Yeah.
Your HyperX combo wasn't good enough.
Right.
Yep.
Combo breaker.
Just holding back the entire time.
He needs a magazine? Did I miss something?
It's got that 1 second timer.
GQ
Yeah.
Eastwood. Somebody set us up the bomb.
I like that
Also,
our-
again, I don't know. That doesn't look so bad.
Yeah.
You know, I just, it's
just a
difficult for me to
charge.
believe that destroyed a person who's established as a god, basically.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
regrew a limb and could take, a melting hand to the chest.
But one landmine just knocks him
Yeah,
out.
that was like a demo charge to take out a tree house.
She really looks like the same technology from Beowulf.
Yeah.
It's so bad. None of this, and really listen to this voice.
Are you the gate?
Really listen to how bad that is, you
And how it doesn't
guys.
sync up with her lips very well.
No.
It's
I feel like they
so
couldn't pick what
bad.
She looks
kind
like
of effect.
CGI Peter Cushing.
Are you the gatekeeper?
Yeah, right.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, Rick Moranis just falls out of the
Right.
sky at the
Yeah.
end.
It's like if you just grabbed a random school teacher and said, hey, tell a scary story with a spooky voice, and that's what they came up with. It's a secret facility,
I'm
except
hoping
that
this
9-year-old
movie
girls send
isn't
letters
in
to
the
it.
same universe as Stranger
Yeah.
Things, and this is what happens to Hopper after he at the end of the season 1.
This
here's-
design is much cooler
Yes.
and doesn't move idiotically for the most part.
Well, it's the same one as the beginning of the movie. It's just poorly lit.
Right.
Well, it's just, but the beginning movie design is way cooler than the Has Her Heart design.
Yeah.
Yes, I will agree with you there.
So, Does Katana have to kill you to steal your soul, or just nick you with the sword to steal your soul?
I think she has to kill you with
Yeah,
the
I'd
sword.
assume she has to kill you. Otherwise, boy, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
Take that thing out the wrong way, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a small thing, I guess, but it's kind of a cop-out to me that every time they show the Doom laser destroying things, it's always the exact same trajectory in every shot.
Well, they spent all their money on music.
Yeah.
Right.
Not even the full songs, too, by the way.
Yeah. I feel like this fight was a missed opportunity for Maquahitos, the Aztec weapon with like the obsidian shards.
No,
stuck on the
yeah.
side. Yeah. Definition. Who needs that?
Yeah.
Crocodile. Why that sound effect?
Why?
Really?
Boink!
Why did it have a bonk sound
And then the
effect?
butt shot.
Because it's
too.
a funny movie. Except it's
Yeah.
not.
Like, if you're going to use the bonk noise, give her the mallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go for it and give her the mallet.
Oh, they're trying so hard, you guys, with the soundtrack right now. They
Yeah.
really want you
Yeah,
to
this
give
is
a
serious
shit.
Make it
movie
all
music.
epic
Yeah.
and
That's the fucking bullshit automatic pistol from SOCOM. There's a deep cut.
Yeah.
That was cool. It's
I
like
do
the
like
only
this right
time
here.
we
He
see his
throws it.
strength.
there's been a couple other scenes.
It's also
that's
the
always
only
been,
time
like,
we
out of
really get a
frame.
good look at his track pants.
Yeah. It's true.
This movie loves its track pants.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I like her,
guys.
how her eyes are lit and everything.
Yeah, that's
in comparison
cool.
to everything else.
this isn't a bad shot. I like
no,
this.
yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
Accent time.
Yeah. Didn't you hear me scream that she was evil 2 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Hey, I could have shot you like half an hour ago.
Right. This is another. It's a super unbelievable injection of emotional connection to the other characters here.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a shoe-in of like Harley has to be the solution to the problem in this movie
Yeah.
because it's very much like her show. I mean, they're like it's an ensemble movie, but she's still like the front and center with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Also, her tattoos are running.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why are they her friends? They're not your friends. You don't fucking care.
No.
Thank you, Colonel Exposition.
Yeah, right.
I know, didn't they? They just said cut her heart out a minute ago.
Yeah. Report to the major afterwards for debriefing.
It's also weird because it's like, okay, where's the heart? Maybe you should smash that into oblivion.
Right. The extended cut.
Greedy.
Slipknot comes back and saves the day.
Yeah, repels out of nowhere.
Actually, the extended cut is just 10 minutes of yakety sax playing while the heart just scoots around on the floor and they're all, it's like slipping out of their hands.
with
They're
banana
trying to
It's all.
sound effects.
It's fun. It's a fun movie.
It's just the chicken catching scene from Rocky.
Croc shot put thing.
This movie could have been like 15 minutes shorter had the scene not been in slow motion.
Right.
Yeah.
How slowly is this thing flying through the air that he has this kind of time?
How did you get to Midway City?
Yeah.
Dad, I get letters to black site facilities. This was easy.
Yeah. She's secretly the enchantress.
Right.
Oh my God. Will Smith.
Goes to love.
It's no Collateral Beauty, that's for sure.
Is that machine made of bismuth?
Get up out my bismuth, my bismuth. Okay.
Green lightning, go away.
Ugh.
And here we go. Hanging out.
Oh, man.
She's still
Gross.
moving, weirdo.
Give her a bath.
Why is he so excited about this? That's very out of character for
So the
Flag.
heart is just under there, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Which makes zero sense at all.
Katana, yes.
Katana, hi!
Yeah.
So, does acting happen now? Is there acting happening?
They're really trying.
Right, okay.
It's like someone once told them what acting was.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
In Legends and Whispers, long past.
This scene is trying to have so much emotional weight, but
Right.
there's just none.
no.
Yeah, it's the emotional weight of a helium balloon.
There's that tattered American flag over,
Yeah, you know, this
over
guy
his,
is
his right shoulder.
the only thing I can think about. I have no sympathy for this man. He's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, you really almost blew up the entire world because you're a dumb giant baby man who loves a weird witch lady.
I'm sure Viola Davis could have, gotten you that on the regular without the, supernatural attachments. But hey,
That was all part of her plan.
All right. Should she have, like, cucumbers over her eyes here, too? Is this what they do for mud beauty baths?
It's just this whole movie's about a really weird sauna.
Yeah.
yep.
She was covered in silicone the entire time.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh no, I totally didn't know what happened.
Oh, gross.
How did I get
Mud
here?
kisses.
Yeah.
I'm so happy the witch is alive. No,
I thought
no.
I killed you.
The joke is this movie killed all of your careers.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So if they gave the actors different things to read and watch in order to prepare for their characters, do you think they gave Killer Croc's Song of the South?
Oh.
Probably.
I feel like the size of Killer Croc fluctuates throughout
Yeah,
the
it's not
movie.
consistent.
Like,
I can't
it's
tell if
based
he's
off
8
the-
feet tall or like 5'5".
Yeah, putting him next to a short Japanese woman is not doing wonders for him. But I think it all has to be like the angle which he shot.
Mm.
Ugh.
See, that's the Waller that
Yeah.
I want to see in a movie. The one who just stands up to these guys and they're not used to it, so they're just
Yeah.
kind of like, okay.
Mhm. I love that this is obligatory movie math question. It's always trigonometry.
the
It's
hypotenuse.
always trigonometry.
Always the hypotenuse.
Right.
Movies like this make me feel stupid because I know that girl's like 8 years old and she can definitely do that and I can't.
She can out-trig you.
It's not even trig. That's just geometry.
Mm.
Hey, I bottom out at Algebra 1, all right?
You got thinking about the families of all the people you've killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that Flag is a soldier because he's wearing a helicopter t-shirt right now.
Yep.
Did he fall on a bedazzler and got stuck on his ear? What happened there?
Apparently his negotiation was a single visit with his daughter.
Well, there's no explanation of any time that may have transpired between then and now. Like, we have no idea as the audience.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they let him keep his cool earrings in prison.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
They're not monsters.
Oh, my God.
Oh, more music.
Yeah, this is totally just, hey, guys, look at how much money Guardians made.
Yeah.
We can do that too. This scene also reeks of second unit.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Dude, it's huge. Those chops make him look like his head is just gigantic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is a part of this upcoming scene with Harley that I like.
Oh.
And it's that through the whole movie they've shown those guards and they all have numbers on them.
Yeah, Alpha 1 and whatever.
Alpha 1, and the Joker's actually says Joker on it, which makes me laugh because that's like an old school gag with the Joker.
Yeah. Yeah, this was the scene in particular. I'm like, yeah, this was added in last minute.
Yeah, well, and you'd think that maybe they would have beefed up security after the,
Yeah.
the issues they've had in the past.
They were going to beef it up with all those puttymen, Steve, and that fell through, so they don't know what to do anymore.
That's the thing. This is like the least secure, least secret, top secret secure site I've ever seen in my
Children
entire life.
sending letters here. There aren't any guards.
Let's just throw all that independent women,
Yeah.
self-functioning thing just out the window.
And here's the neon aesthetic, which is in nowhere except the credits and exposition scene at the beginning of the movie.
It's painful to watch. It's too much. Not since the 80s has there been this much neon.
So we crawled through some of my PlayStation 4 themes just before we started this. This whole end sequence is just a hideous amalgamation of all the shitty PS4 themes you can download. All the stupid, just Grim Reaper neon gangster bullshit.
Mm-hmm. This is like 90s teen screensaver.
Oh my god. All right, so do we want to tough it out through the end of credits scene?
No,
well,
not really. I mean,
right.
we can if you want. I mean, we still have other things to talk about.
Is
so
it
we can
at
always
the end of the
pause
credits, or does it happen after this
it's
bullshit?
midway.
All right,
It's midway.
well, all right. Well, let's see where we land.
Yeah.
Well, this would be good because I didn't know there was an after credit sequence because I stormed out of the theater and as soon as it was done at home, I immediately turned it off.
Yeah, I did too. So.
I walked out in just a pure haze of disappointment from this movie.
Yeah, I was about to leave, and when the credit scene came on,
I don't even know if I like disappointment is the right word to describe how I felt because like I have zero faith in DC to do anything remotely competent, and
Right.
I think I had heard some rumblings that people didn't like it because it was, it wasn't fun, and I'm like, that's okay. I don't like fun.
yeah,
I can do without fun.
yep.
And then when I walked out, I was just like, oh god, I actually thought it was worse than most of the critics.
Wow.
Critics thought.
Yeah, this is a bad one. This is one where when people, friends and family tell me they like this movie, I generally have to stop walking and really process that statement.
And then just slowly fade away into the background.
Like Homer into the bushes in that
Yep.
meme, right?
Yep.
Oh, you guys, this is just...
Yeah, there's a very short list of movies where it's just like, I don't know if I can take you seriously as a person if you really like this.
And
Yeah.
this is on it.
Yeah, that's definitely on it.
Yeah.
So is this... Oh, here we are. Okay.
Okay.
We're being quiet here because half the people watching this haven't seen this yet.
People be asking questions, dog.
I feel like a lot of these talks are happening in Washington right now.
Yeah.
But
I do like Ben Affleck as both Batman and Bruce Wayne. I do.
He makes an interesting Bruce Wayne because they seem like they're trying to play up a lot of his actual investigation and influence powers. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was established from BVS. This Batman's been around for 20 years.
Yeah.
So he's old. He's jaded. He knows how the game is played. So,
Yeah.
oh no!
There you go.
Movies in the future.
Yeah.
I'd like to take that as meaning this entire movie we just survived is obviated by the existence of the Justice League. Let's go with that.
Yeah. All right,
Lord.
So View again, brew again. James Thorpe.
Ooh.
No, not View Again Ever Again. I'm the one thing that kind of blew my mind in the monster. Who is Monster T? Because Common is in this movie.
He was the gangster guy
the tattoo man, the guy who Joker's like, take him out.
I thought that was him,
Tattaman.
but I wasn't sure, and I'm very disappointed in Common for appearing in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all learning new things today.
Well, I thought Tattoo Man was going to be like a mid-level mobster kind of guy because he has a cool superpower. You know, he makes his tattoos come alive and they come off of his body and they do stuff. But sorry.
So no, never again. This is, and like I said, it's bad. It's very bad in a lot of ways. But
yeah,
one of the reasons why I'll never watch it again is that it's very boring.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's a greater sin than being like an inherently bad movie. Because
being a boring movie.
Yeah, being a boring movie. Because I mean, The Room is an awful movie, but it's not boring because it's ridiculous and hilarious through the whole thing because of how bad it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This movie is just boring.
Okay.
And yes, I would brew again. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Ryan, what say you?
Oh my God! Yeah, I don't ever want to watch this movie ever again. So Steve, you mentioned earlier that you kind of got burned out, or are getting burned out on superhero movies. I don't think I'm ever going to be burned out on them, and I'm okay with that. But I'm furious at this movie. It's very bad. It doesn't do anything well for the characters. It doesn't do anything well for the genre. It's not a good movie. It's not entertaining. It's boring, like James said. I hate this movie. I don't ever want to see it again. The beer, on the other hand, I'm not for the bitterness and the IPAs, but I do like this. I would drink this again. I wouldn't seek this out on my own, but if you guys were to buy this for me ever, I would drink a lot of it. Yeah, that's
you're in luck because I think we still got some left. So.
Yes, good man. I knew I stayed friends with you all these years for a reason. It's for one beer tonight. That's what it's for.
All right. And as far as I go, we'll go Steve Cup last. I've seen this movie more than I've seen the original Avengers, and I'm telling you that just to piss you guys off. Not you, Steve Cuff. Dude, you'll probably find that funny.
Yeah, I actually think that's hilarious. Is this going to turn into a therapy session? Do you actually hate yourself? Is that?
Oh no!
That's so bad.
It's just I'm not burned out on superhero movies. It takes a lot. There are very few that I will watch more than once. Like, I've only seen the original Avengers once. That was in the theaters. It was a good popcorn movie. I have no desire to see it again because it didn't do anything for me beyond that.
Yeah, you forgot to mention the part where you're a bad person, but go ahead.
That's a generally well-known statement. But, no, it's just, I mean, I think this movie will be looked at for a while as just like a spectacular failure, even though it was kind of a financial success.
It was, unfortunately, and that sucks. That's negative reinforcement for this kind of crap. But anyway,
yeah. But no, I'm not gonna watch this again.
He says matter-of-factly and firmly.
No.
It seems like a ridiculous proposition, right? Like there's somewhere it's just like, I had a good time watching it last year. It's like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. As far as the beer goes, I don't have a lot of Imperial Reds. They kind of they blend a couple styles that I don't generally. I mean, I enjoy each of the styles individually. I enjoy Reds. I enjoy IPAs. Red IPAs. It just kind of. I'm always like surprised by how they taste, but it doesn't mean I don't enjoy them. I enjoy them very much, and yeah, that's not. I mean, solid beer. Wisconsin makes some great stuff. I mean, they're not Michigan, but they got some good stuff.
There it is. And a rivalry is formed. Forged.
That and me shit talking on Ohio. Steve.
Yeah.
View again, brew again.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Lay it on us, Steve.
I am going to live the rest of my life without ever watching this abomination ever again. It is like audio-visual violence. It should be banned. Like, I don't believe in censorship, but if the government wanted to regulate the ability for people to see this movie, I would support it completely.
You mean they're gonna show it in Guantanamo Bay? Alongside
that's exactly what
it's just on a loop in every cell.
Yeah. Suicide Squad is the new waterboarding.
Suicide Squad and Gitmo.
I think like it it fails on so many levels. Like, if you are genuinely interested in the craft of filmmaking, I recommend watching this just so you can see everything you're not supposed to do. Because everything from the direction to the writing to the characterization to the editing, the music,
cinematography, choreography.
yeah, literally everything you can possibly think of, they screw it up in some way, shape, or form. And more so than that, I think this is going to go down because, you know, it was financially did fine. We're probably going to get a sequel. I don't think this is going to be one of those movies that goes down in movie history, like, say, like Spawn or something, as like an all-time worst superhero movie.
Dude, it didn't.
But if there is justice in this world, it will do better than going down in history as an all-time worst. It will be forgotten. It will be the Shadow or the Phantom.
There you go.
Or Dick Tracy.
Hey, Dick Tracy's all right, man. I get down with Dick Tracy. But no, but seriously, like, have you ever heard someone say anything good about the Shadow? Have you ever heard someone talk about the Shadow?
It's got a good cast. Alec Baldwin, Tim Curry,
Yeah.
Ian McKellen.
Exactly. But nobody, so there's plenty of 90s
Jonathan
superhero
Long.
movies that people don't talk about, they don't watch, they don't care about. And that's what I want for Suicide Squad. I want it to just vanish into the ether.
Okay.
Right.
The beer's great, though.
This.
I think The Phantom is actually on our list of movies.
It's
to
probably
do.
on our
It
list.
is, yes. Yes. It was funny. Right as we were like, we should do The Phantom. How did this get made? Like, we're doing The Phantom and The Shadow in a back-to-back thing. And I was like, fuck.
This movie made a fuckload of money, didn't it? Didn't Suicide Squad make something like $800 million?
Yeah, I want to say it was somewhere around. I did not look up the figures before that, but it was upwards of 700 mil.
Just a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Awful.
And all three of you helped that. I didn't. I'm the only person in this room that can feel good about himself right now.
I can't argue that.
That's for the greater
That's
good.
on my-
I
that-
use my platform to rail against this movie whenever I can.
So
It's my life's work.
Steve, talk a little bit about Optimism Vaccine.
Absolutely. That's why I'm here. I'm here for the plugs. I don't
Yeah.
care about you jabronis. Listen, optimismvaccine.com. We write about pop culture, specifically weird left to center, bizarro stuff. So we like to think of ourselves as like, imagine there's a greasy, gross butt crack between popular culture and forgotten trash, and we're just spelunking down that butt crack. That's what we do.
We're kind of going down that track as well.
That's exactly what you are. Get in the track, baby. Get in the greasy
Get in the
track.
track.
Oh boy, my microphone fell down. So yeah. Anyways, optimismvaccine.com. You can also check us out on iTunes. We do podcasts. It posts almost every week, basically every week. It's a whole network of podcasts. Got a bunch of different shows, all kinds of cool shit. If you like these guys, then you'll like us, probably, maybe. I don't know. Unless you were listening to this episode and you're like, wow, I really like these guys, but that Steve guy that they have on as a guest, a real asshole.
That's what I'm thinking. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, well,
And you've got a pretty strong Facebook presence too, right?
something like that. Yeah. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at Optimism Vaccine. You find me at Steve Cuff. Not that any of you are. Actually, I had a bunch of random dudes add me on Facebook the other day. I was like, who are these fucking weirdos? And I figured out that there were people that actually listen to the podcast. So
there you go.
Make your social media private if you don't want weird people trying to add your personal accounts.
Good
That's
advice.
the lesson today.
Sage wisdom from
Check
Steve
us out.
Cuff.
It's good. If you like these guys, you like our stuff.
Yeah. If you're going to follow people that you don't know online, follow them on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's more socially acceptable than Facebook.
Exactly. I agree with that 100%.
But well,
Facebook
thank
is
you for
for
coming
moms.
on, Steve. Thank you for bringing us the beer from Wisconsin. It was very much appreciated.
Raised
We'd
Grain
love-
Brewery, baby.
Yeah,
Give a shout out.
We would love to have you back.
Absolutely.
And to drink more beer. That walnut stout sounds pretty tasty and up all of our alleys. I think we all enjoy stouts here.
Yeah, on board, man.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
Full support.
Yeah, as always, like us on Facebook or on Twitter at GBBV Podcast or Good Brews, Bad Views. Subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, all that jazz. And as always, please drink and view responsibly. We'll see you guys next time.
Adios.